What kind of childhood did you have?
Short.
Were you a big baby?
He was the biggest baby born in St. Francis Hospital in San Francisco.
Are you an actor, a director, a producer? What are you, baby?
Do I come over to your house and ask a lot of dumb questions?
Are you a crybaby?
He was crying, but he wouldn't give it to the camera.
Do you feel lucky, baby? Well, do ya?
You're a very nice girl.
Introducing Clint Eastwood in his own words. 2 arena specials, 2 classic films. Starts tonight at 10 and continues tomorrow at 9:20 on BBC Two.
They just don't do Christmas like they did when you were growing up, do they? It always snowed and Father Christmas always brought you just what you wanted. Well, now might be a good time for the little ones to go to bed. A few home truths as BBC Two goes back to a 70s Christmas.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, it's Christmas Eve, and by now the panic really should have set in. Who did you forget to send a Christmas card to? And what about your friends? Are they going to like their presents? And what about your own present? Will you like it? Or is it going back to the shop on Boxing Day?
Yes, and tomorrow, who's going to be first to get up to start cooking the turkey? Is the turkey going to be too small? Is it going to be too big? And who's going to start the first argument?
Well, it's not going to be me, so you two can relax.
Relief.
Well, for the next 90 minutes, we're going to take you back to a Christmas time when you were the very centre of attention.
Yes, back to the 70s, when you were growing up and we were part of the entertainment.
Do you remember all those things we used to make on Blue Peter at Christmas? If you do, you're probably surrounded at home by beautiful homemade decorations, and the candles will be twinkling on your Advent crown. But I do hope you remembered to use fireproof tinsel.
Hello there.
Hello.
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 And that's the 4th candle on our
Advent crown all ready
for Christmas, the day
after tomorrow.
And there was always the start of the show. Hello, and as you can see, we're lighting the fall. It was always the same line. It was invariably me doing it. I never got bored with it. I didn't have to learn it because I knew it.
Because the one I always remember is that Advent crown.
It was the Advent candles, of course. It was the Advent...
Well, I think it looks very nice indeed, and I'm sure looking at it, nobody would guess that it starts with just a couple of wire coat hangers like this.
The candle holder is a screw top off some jar. I made a hole through the middle with a nail and a hammer, through which I've put some wire and twisted it round.
We would have made that each time. We would have bent our wire coat hangers and wrapped them round with tinsel. It's very simple to make.
Then, with candles balanced at 4 corners of the crown.
And you've got your holder like that.
I mean, it was like pyromania on a national scale. The fire brigade must have been manning, they're taking on extra staff. They're doing the Advent crown on Blue Peter tonight. Oh, God, all leave is cancelled.
Make a small hole there with a drill, and that will fit on just like that.
Of course, if your candle happens to fit, then obviously you're not going to need to put any plasticine in.
In terms of the Advent calendar, yeah, I'd always...
Sorry, Advent crown. Please get it right.
Advent crown.
The Advent crown.
Yes, well, the Advent crown's now got 2 candles already lit, so...
I'm going to light the 3rd candle on our Advent crown.
And lighting this 3rd one...
means there's only one more Blue Peter to go before Christmas.
And we've taken all the usual precautions, making sure that the tinsel and decorations are fireproof, so the whole thing won't go up in flames.
I made very few things on Blue Peter in general because they always seem to involve having to hand kind of things that in my background we just didn't have.
Half a paper doily. Fold it round like Val did the other week. Glue it so you end up with a comb like that.
We would have made something that was a Christmas present. Unless I go back to my Blue Peter annuals and have a look, I'm afraid I can't remember them.
They used to make things that were completely useless and forgettable almost instantly.
Now, I did say today that I was going to show you how to make a special Christmas present for a dad or an uncle or a big brother. And here it is.
If they had that strange addiction to it, you always knew that there'd be the squeezy bottle and the toilet holders, and it was all very safe, and ask mum if you've got to use the scissors kind of thing.
Used to make lots of boxes and containers, which, you know, you just get one box, unpick it, and then put it back and make another box, really. Snip. Because you'd have to get, you know, like a box to start with, get your cardboard, and then refashion it into another box.
Again, and put the ends in, and you'll find that that is a perfect fit for the pocket torch.
I never made any of the things on the programme, very rarely. I wasn't very good at it. I think that's the reason.
It's a nice hanging decoration for Christmas tree, a door, something like that. It's gorgeous. Although I made it myself and I say it myself.
We didn't really come up with ideas. You know, it was very much the production team, and we were the presenters, and we got the scripts and we were told what to do.
One on each ear.
Yeah, they all used to give each other presents and the pets. And that was a nice family atmosphere, big extended family, Blue Peter were.
One of the nice things at Christmas is the giving and receiving of presents.
We've got some presents over there by our Christmas tree.
Which seem to have our names and Petra, Shep's and Jason's names. So.
Well, we're allowed to open the presents today because this is the nearest Blue Peter to Christmas. So who shall we start with? Me? So who's going to be first? Me? My first present?
Let's start with the animals. Let's have Petra first.
Right. And they were quite good presents, actually, weren't they? They were a lot better than the presents they advised you to make for your mum, I seem to recall. There was no jerry-built desk tidies for them, was there?
And inside here, just what I needed, it's a football soap on a rope, which is great.
Oh, look.
Isn't that sweet?
Oh, isn't
That's
it
really nice.
pretty?
Oh, beautiful. A lovely book. And what is marvellous is that this matches the one I was given last year.
They wouldn't tell us what was in the presents. And they were always funny things that you thought, oh, and you had to enthuse and say, oh, this is wonderful.
Oh, Johnny, it is a toolbox. I'm very glad about this. You see, with my last one, my car ran over it.
The difficult thing always was that they weren't from anybody. These presents were just there. And they actually were from the production team, and they were very nice. I mean, I'm not knocking the presents.
I probably remember the presenters giving them to the animals more than each other, because I think probably because they were quite dull, the presents to each other, and the animal ones were probably a bit more exciting. You know, the cat got a little play mouse.
Ah, look, Jason, a beautiful bow with your name on it, and a mouse.
Come on, come on.
Yes, look, mice. How about that? I should be having those, not you.
Shut
And a comb.
What's in there apart from your head? Oh, look at that. There's a bloody Chef, get out!
Then somebody would have, you know, obviously to a cue, would say, oh, but what's that I can hear? You know, can I hear a brass band playing? Well, probably, yes, you can, as we've done for the last 13 years on the show.
I think they're coming up the road right now.
And I can hear them just coming into the studio now.
I think they're coming up the road now. I can just hear them singing.
It was always the same, but it was always really quite impressive. I mean, I won't say I was moved to tears quite, but it really was a very nice moment always.
And they would always have a random choir in of slightly overexcited school children, but they always looked really startled and quite frightened, as if maybe someone had been beating them with a stick before they actually went on. And the presenters would then they'd try and get really over-enthusiastic, especially John Noakes. He'd go like, come on, let's sing a carol, come on, it's Christmas!
And in the meantime, we all wish you a very merry, happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Have a super happy Christmas.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Very happy Christmas.
I shall now conduct the last verse.
Oh,
Are you
no.
ready?
We are. Don't
Here
rock.
we go.
I suppose the children watching Blue Peter, they remember those Christmases, and we were part of that Christmas.
When did Christmas really begin? When the decorations went up? When you got your first card? Or was it even earlier?
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
Christmas, for me, always started with ads on TV, and they always started, like they do now, but ludicrously early. And that's when you knew it was Christmas.
The Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit.
Every Christmas, Woolies brings pleasure to the kids and value to their parents. Look at the price of these smashing rockers. These super dolls, $8.99. Dolls prams, too. And this great bike is £16.99.
The ads would start and then the moaning would start and then you knew Christmas was on its way. I remember sitting in the room with your parents, if you really, there's something on that you really like, you go, God, isn't that nice? God, that looks really good.
The Tommy Cooper golf game's cut by £2.
Just like that. A couple of months from October, start sitting in front of my mum with the catalogue open on the pages of the toys that I wanted. So I knew when Christmas was coming. I'd made my plans already. It's like, chopper bike.
We wrote little notices on the Christmas box. I love your Christmas box. Please don't go back in the loft. Love, Millie.
We had like massive Christmas tree, lights. I'm sure we were nicking electricity from other houses because the amount of lights that we had on our tree, you could see them from space.
There was a kind of class thing about trees. We were very much plastic tree family, and I am again now.
We always had a real tree. We always had real needles. We never bought one of those cheap imitations.
And I remember in about 1974, my mum, obviously in a kind of aspirational move, said, we're not having those rubbishy plastic trees anymore from Woolworths. We're going to have a proper tree.
There's no such thing in Croydon in the 70s as a real pine tree.
And you'd spend early January hoovering up pine needles, all going, ow, all the time.
There was a rock and roll revival in the 70s. Darts, Alvin Stardust, and Mud got a Christmas #1 with Lonely This Christmas. And then in 1976, the Teddy Boys from Showaddywaddy tried to follow suit.
Top of the Pops proudly presents the hit sound of Showaddywaddy! I love you like I do.
I loved Showaddywaddy.
I do.
The lead singer, I was quite taken with him. He had sort of big, bee-sting lips, didn't he? And he had quite floppy hair.
Like I do.
And he was slightly sexy. I couldn't say he was very sexy, but he awakened something in me at a young age.
And the drummer, the black guy, the drummer was called Romeo Challenger, which is such a great name.
I used to get teased a lot, you know. Romeo, if all right there and all that. You know, I mean, you can imagine what it's like in kids in the playground and all that. And I just got used to people, you know, reacting strangely to my name.
And before Showaddywaddy, he'd been in a Satanist group called Black Widow, whose hit was Come to the Sabbath. Oh, you'd be surprised all the bollocks I know.
I really remember the sort of teddy boy clothes, but really ridiculously tight trousers on the lead singer, just completely, really unhealthily tight.
The 70s were a bad time generally for the gentleman's area. Nothing was left to the imagination, and you could, you only had to let the eye slip like that, and you'd see all the gentlemen's knickknacks in pretty much all their glory, like a mould.
I think Dave Lee Travis once referred to us as an explosion in a paint factory, which I suppose aptly summed it up.
They had a huge hit with Under the Moon of Love, which everyone used to love, because it started out with a
That song, I think everybody's ears pricked up. It just felt right.
Let's go for a little walk under the moon of love. Let's sit down.
Under the Moon of Love looked all set to be the Christmas #1 for Showaddywaddy.
And we were fortunate enough to be at #1 for a month, so it had plenty of time to sink in, and it's an incredible feeling to be sat there at the top of the tree.
See, when we were #1 right up until the week before Christmas.
Joe is welcome to the Christmas Top of the Pops.
The biggest thing at Christmas was sitting waiting for the Christmas #1 on Top of the Pops to see who it would be.
And then, of course, it'd be the Christmas #1. Who was going to be the Christmas #1?
Hadn't been for Johnny Mathis, this would still be at #1. It's a great record. Under the Moon of Love from, of course, Showaddywaddy.
Let's sit right down and talk. Under the moon of love.
When A Child Was Born was released, I think that was released later than our record, but it sold so quickly that it just pipped us to #1,
And we were somewhat aggrieved that Johnny Mathis took the #1 slot that year, basically because we thought the record was awful.
A ray of hope.
A ray of hope flickers in the sky. A tiny star lights up way up high.
When a child is born. That's what he sang like, wasn't it?
When a child is born.
You've got to expect records like that to come out at Christmas.
He played the Jesus card at Christmas time. He'd done the right thing, really.
All across the land dawns a brand new morn.
And Under the Moon of Love wasn't about Jesus. It was about being under a moon, the moon of love.
Under the moon of love.
Traditionally, Jesus is going to win every time, isn't he?
This comes to pass when a child is born.
I can dig that sentiment, but, we weren't too cool about it when we heard it, and thinking, they're #1 and we're not,
The Showaddywaddy were kept off. They must have been really knocked. And they looked like they could handle themselves. If I'd have been Johnny Mathis, I'd have been quite worried, because they looked like they'd been around the ring a few times, didn't they, Showaddywaddy?
I'd take my hat off to him for having a #1 so late in his career, but certainly there were no thoughts of going round to his house and knocking on his door and popping in one on the hooter.
This comes to pass when a child is born.
The celebration of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ is still a time to get pissed.
I'm sorry, sir, no more baby sham. I'd like to help you, Squire, but we're right out. Sorry.
Baby shams, yes, that was a very Christmassy drink.
Martini. Pomaine.
Hirondelle. Dubonnet.
QC. Cherry B.
What is Party 7?
We get invited to the loveliest parties round about Christmas.
Baby sham, and now new baby sham dry.
The first wine I ever tasted was Blue Nun.
The truth is, you just can't make good wine cheaply.
Blue Nun was cheap.
Blue Nun.
Blue Nun, sir. It's exquisite.
Blue Nun almost summed up the 70s. It was light, it was easy, it was fun, and there was an element of sophistication there.
Blue Nun goes anytime, any place with anything. Blue Nun goes everywhere.
We started to advertise Blue Nun really heavily, I think, in the 70s, and we were the first brand at the time to go on television.
You have a diplomatic dinner. 2 Zen Buddhists, 3 vegetarians, a military attaché addicted to raw steak, a Catholic, and it is Friday. What wine? Red or white?
Blue, sir. None, sir.
None? Got to give them something, huh?
Blue none, sir. The classic wine from Germany.
Not the sort of wine you'd sit back and save and maybe have half a glass of. They wanted you to, you know, take the entire bottle in one go.
A very, very popular wine at that time. You'd see it on every second table if you went into a restaurant.
Everybody was drinking it. But whether it was drunk by the pop stars, I couldn't actually say that.
Dave Hill in our band, he used to drink Blue Nun. He used to thought it was very exotic to drink Blue Nun.
It did actually go down quite well with a curry, but I think moved on to palates have moved on to some rather better wines than Blue Nun in this day and age.
All the women in your life love warnings, Advocaat, at Christmas.
Oh, I was so excited about Advocaat. It was yellow and vanilla and sweet. I'd have it with lemonade and ice.
Snowball's all right. You won't catch him when I'm drinking Snowball. It's only lemonade with eggs.
It's like an omelette in a bottle.
Because you'd drink it and think, oh, this is quite nice. Can I have another Snowball now, Granny? And then you'd have to go and have your stomach pumped.
Thank you.
Is that the lot, then?
Yes, that'll do for now, thank you.
Terrible rush, this Christmas lark, isn't it?
Yeah. If it wasn't for the kids, we wouldn't bother, you know.
Do you know, it always snowed at Christmas in the 70s.
Eh?
Didn't it? Oh, well. Whenever it was that the first snowflake fell, all kids abandoned all their expensive presents to do just 3 things.
1, go outside and have a snowball fight with your friends.
That's right. 2, to build a snowman and wait until February till it melted.
And 3, to get your mum's best tea tray and sledge down the nearest hill, just like Franz Klemmer.
Oh, I tell you, there was nothing as good as those 3 things. Unless, of course, you got the chance to go on Christmas. It's a knockout.
Ah.
And on the eve of Christmas, a welcome from Italy to It's a Christmas Knockout 1979.
I loved It's a Knockout. I so wanted them to come to Hitchin.
Dives up the ramp left hand.
What a waste of time.
They have woolly things at the end of some ropes.
The greatest programme in the world.
Great support from the crowd.
Absolutely hilarious.
Oh, she's dropped herself. That's a knockout with a vengeance.
I think it's one of the best shows ever invented.
I just remember Stuart Hall laughing a lot, which is because what all anybody remembers now about Stuart Hall laughing insanely.
We're coming up now, 3 seconds to go.
He do his commentary.
The Germans have fallen over, the fall over, the Germans have fallen. Ah, look at it. She can't stand up, she's gonna fall. Look at it. That's an hour of that. You're just deaf.
And he'd end up just wheezing, just absolutely wheezing, not being able to speak.
Basically, you could imagine him with a big puddle of wee all around his chair while he was commentating, because I've never heard anybody laugh like that, and it was infectious.
He's like that in real life. And he's orange.
What a fantastic game, isn't it?
I liked Knockout on Ice. It was a fresh dimension.
Well, here's Santa Claus, and our first game concerns Santa.
It was obviously a festive theme. We had large Santa Clauses and large snowballs, and people dressed as the fairies climbing down chimneys with parcels and whatnot. It was just a really jolly good, lovely show to do. It had a lovely atmosphere.
We've just had a seasonal snowfall to make it all very, very festive indeed.
On a couple of occasions, there wasn't any snow, and the fire brigade came in and put fake snow down.
E I ragazzi di Evimore.
And this stuff smelt, and it smelt like rotten eggs.
Under the 6 inches of foam was about 2 inches of slushy water that used to make a right mess of my Yeti boots.
We should see some fancy skating from Joe. She can really go. She's gonna fox him. No, finger to his kid. Oh, he's burst his balloon.
The games were usually pretty bizarre.
Give us a smile. Go on. It is 3 seconds. Get in quickly. Up she goes. Can you do it? Ah, boop. What was that?
You don't really need massive scripts in this country. All you have to do is come on and fall over, and then it gets a terrific laugh.
It had to happen. They've been imbibing the Christmas spirit up the mountains today.
Oh, someone must have at least broken an ankle.
How nobody ever broke anything, I'll never know.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
That's not an accident, it's just a ball on the ice, and it'll cool the harder anyway.
People now talk about Knockout. They didn't realise at the time that these were the best years of their lives. It's only now, in retrospect, wallowing in nostalgia, that they realise just how fantastic the times were.
And good luck.
I always realised at the time, and I burnt the candle at both ends in the middle as well.
Well, of course, if this was Christmas Eve in the 70s, by now you'd be tucked up in bed, fast asleep, dreaming of things like chopper bikes and Etch-a-Sketch and Holly Hobby. Or perhaps more likely, you'd have been lying there pretending to be fast asleep, hoping that you could catch out Santa.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Do you used to write letters to Santa Claus with the things you wanted?
Yeah.
And we didn't have a chimney, so we would sort of have to think about how Santa Claus would get into the house.
Actually, that's true,
So we put them on the doormat.
They'd put us to bed on Christmas Eve and then come in about 10 minutes later with the stockings. So you'd be going, Mum? And she'd be, yes, just close your eyes, what are you doing?
He's checking his watch.
And we just had socks, and other people at school had pillowcases. I don't know if it was a kind of class thing.
We had a pillowcase.
We only had stock, and it was my dad's sock. It was my dad's socks. It was quite small. He used to wear sock suspenders, so they were quite short socks.
And you couldn't be bothered with stockings, so you had old shopping bags at the end of your bed with stuff in it.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout.
There was a knock at the door, and you could tell even as a 3-year-old something's not right here, because they were sort of, oh, I wonder who that is at the door. Stuart, would you like to go and see who it is? I said, it's Mr. Unsworth. And he said, I don't think it is it, Stuart? It's Father Christmas, isn't it? And I said, no. I said, it's an easy mistake to make. It's because he's dressed as Father Christmas.
Oh, I knew Santa wasn't real from day one, because my mum, she made us know, listen, this is my money. I bought these toys, not a fat man who comes down the chimney. No, I bought it. Me.
I used to come down in the morning for Christmas really, really excited, couldn't sleep. It was like, God, Santa's been, he's been.
And then the moment would come, and then we'd all sit around the tree. Toys. Scalextric, right? You used to have the advert on telly, right? Kid, cars going by, right? Cars going by really fast, big, massive tracks, spaghetti loops. It looked fantastic.
Scalextric brings you real motor racing excitement.
I did have a Scalextric. Everybody of kind of my age, I think, had a Scalextric, because it was like the PlayStation at the time. You saw it on the telly and you just thought, my mind is reeling now with this. It's so advanced and fantastic.
So we go to my dad and we say, Dad, can we have a Scalextric? And he said, oh, they're a load of rubbish, them. And he said, well, blah, blah, such and such a kid's got one. Those kids only have jam butties for the tea. And that's what he said. So that was the reason that every kid had better and more expensive toys than us. So I got up this Christmas morning and I went downstairs and it was all set up. It even had like a little figure 8 on it. High rev slot racing. You always got the cheaper version in our house.
You get it out of the box and it looked more like a slip road, because it was nothing like the original. The original was massive. And you get out of the box, it was like a little thing like that.
Because unless you've been able to afford the super duper Monaco Deluxe one, it's got like 4 bits of track. You know what I mean? 2 curved bits, so it's just quite a small circle.
Starting with a basic set, you can gradually build up to a super circuit like this.
Every dad wanted them, and then your dad would go up to the attic and set it up on a load of boxes, and there'd be hills, and you know, my brothers could barely see the table, but my father going and trying to sort of, you know, manoeuvre 2 cars at the same time. You could get really into that, but it was, Dad, go stand back, I'm doing this. No, come on, it's too difficult for you.
There was only ever 2 states of being of the Scalextric car. One was stationary on the track, burning, and the transformer thing would pop out. You'd have to reset it. Or it was on its side on the carpet.
And then your little handset would start stinking of burning plastic, and the whole thing wouldn't work.
In the 70s, I was a Scaletrix designer and created the drawings for them to manufacture the cars with. Once the cars had been sort of, I'd designed them, then we'd run that car around a test track, which would like have everything that we made, humpback bridges and bank tracks. And we could spend many happy hours sitting in this track, making sure our cars did everything it was supposed to do.
You'd have to have had the reactions of a kestrel. You know, to get the accelerator off in time. Straight off. There you go. Go and get it and put it back on again. That was all it was. It was useless.
Unless you went round at the speed of the district nurse, it would just collide off and go and hit the wardrobe.
The new wide track minis. And danger spots like the high hump.
On the advert, the car just go round and round and round. And on ours, it'd go, hit the bend, off. Rubbish.
The trouble was that people just drove them too fast into corners. I mean, like in real life, if you drive your car too fast, you're going to come off on a corner.
It was nothing to do with my driving skills. Scalextric looked good. It looked good, but they were rubbish.
I had a massive, great layout in my house. I took up the whole lounge, much to the wife's annoyance. But I mean, it actually ran all around the corners of the walls and sort of in the middle, and you had to step over it to get to your seat. Because once you set it up, you couldn't really take it down in the same time. You had to leave it up for a couple of days.
That was another thing. It's too much hassle putting that down. We'll have to be going in and out of here with cheese footballs all day long for relatives. You can't put that down. So unless you were going to put it on the roof, there was nothing you could do. It was like a once-a-year treat. Now off it goes, on fire.
But it was a swizz and a con, and I think it changed my character forever. And if I have any cynicism now in my life, it's because of that damn Scalextrics.
No, I loved it. I mean, I could play with it all day. Well, the boss is not watching. I did used to play with it all day, really. So it was a gorgeous job. Really loved it.
Scalextric, the next best thing to real motor racing.
You know, there were some pretty bizarre acts that got hits at Christmas throughout the 70s.
There was Roy Wood and Wizard.
Clive Dunn and Grandad, and Benny Hill with Ernie.
And Chuck Berry and his Dingaling.
Oh, what was that other one? Alvin Stardust with Cuckoo. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but there was none more remarkable than this little lot. They were the top-selling group in both 1977 and 78. They were, of course, Boney M.
There is boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day.
I loved them.
There was glamour, there was glitz.
I don't know what it is about it. I just find it very, very irritating.
They were always very spangly, always very sparkly.
It was really upbeat, Afro-Caribbean drumming. You could really get on down with the music.
She's crazy like a fool.
What about Daddy Cool?
The idea of Boney M was created in 1975.
I called an agency and said, I need 4 people.
He was going to use his bass voice to create the sound of Boney M, and that was it. And he just needed dancers.
Everybody came to the studio, and I said, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
We went into the studio, recorded Daddy Cool, Sunny, and the rest is history.
From Germany, Boney M, and this is called Daddy Cool.
When we did our first Top of the Pops, we had to sing everything live, and it was really quite frightening, knowing that we had some members who couldn't sing.
She's crazy like a fool. What about it, Daddy Cool?
Many people have said to me they've never heard anything so terrible as when we sang on Top of the Pops, but everybody loved it.
Boney M weren't just about entertainment. Their songs had an educational value as well.
There lived a certain man in Russia long ago. He was big and strong, in his eyes a flaming glow.
Now, even though I was quite well educated, I had no idea who Rasputin was until I listened to a Boney M single. You can get all the information you need about Russian history from that Boney M single.
Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat that really was gone.
Rah Rah Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine.
It was a shame how we carried on.
Strictly speaking, not true. He was a monk.
There is boy child, Jesus Christ.
Some would say that it would be slightly inappropriate to set the birth of Christ to a disco beat.
Long time ago in Bethlehem,
So the Holy Bible said,
Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ
was born. Oh, good. I used to love that.
A message and a swing-along message.
you know, it was really lively and really typically Boney M.
Mary's Boy Child for me is one of those ones I haven't played for a long time, and I really wouldn't bother me if I never heard it or played it again.
It just wasn't cool.
I remember there was a video of Boney M in the snow, and I know that was a made-up thing because black people, we do not like snow. So to see black people dressed up in the snow, you know that they were forced.
and man will live forevermore.
I think we peaked with Mary's Boy Child. I mean, I think in England we sold 3 million copies in 1 week.
When they performed on Top of the Pops, they couldn't have looked more bored. They'd maybe bounce around a bit because someone was obviously poking them with a stick off camera or holding up a big board saying, "Fake smile."
Oh my Lord, you sent your son to save us.
I think that was the peak. And most times when you peak, you know it too. The stress becomes too much. The members start to go crazy. The trouble had caused everybody to feel very hurt. But then you get over your hurt and you move on. You have to.
Golden halo crowned him, oh my Lord.
Boney M is evergreen. They have a lot of evergreen songs. Mary's Boy Child, Rivers of Babylon, from east to west, from west to east. You can go everywhere. You listen Boney M music. Still.
If you wanted all the best hits for Christmas, then you had to get the Top of the Pops album.
Top of the Box LPs were a way of bringing old grannies into pop music.
I don't know who they were directed at, those albums, because we never bought them.
I remember the album covers definitely because my brother used to have them. I think I appeared on 3 or 4 Top of the Pops albums. I mean, they were either very coy. In fact, I've got a coy one here. Oh, yes. What do you think? Or then we had, definitely the hip thrust.
I think that's probably the most outstanding thing of the Top of the Pops albums, is the fact that everybody remembers the cover.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of guys used to go out and buy the albums and didn't bother listening to the albums.
The boys of a certain age would be attracted to that for obvious hormonal reasons, which you're powerless to resist.
If you got tired of the Littlewoods underwear section, there was always that.
Saucy.
So I suppose it helps sell them.
The Saucy Sleeves weren't the only cover on the album.
We bought them because they were a great way of getting like 18 hits for £2.
You did go out and buy them thinking that they were the original artist, but you soon found out that they weren't, and then you never did it again.
They were a series of cover versions of chart hits of the day.
The intention was that they should sound
as close as possible to chart singles that were out at the time.
The Sex Pistols Pretty Vacant. Sounds like some session guitarists. It sounded trying to be a little bit like Status Quo.
But I had to do the lead vocal, so... Though putting our scale is no reply. I thought it sounded like Norman Wisdom.
That didn't work too well.
One of the low points of the Top of the Pops series is a version of Kate Bush's Wuthering Heights. To me, it sounds more like Olive Oil from Popeye than it does Kate Bush.
I wouldn't let my mum put them on, or my nan put them on. I wanted the real thing.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Okay, boys. Bohemian Rhapsody now.
No escape from reality.
I mean, I had to sit at home and work it all out, all the harmonies, and I don't write music, so I had to remember it.
Their version of Bohemian Rhapsody is absolutely marvellous.
Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see.
This is, I mean, probably the most amazing piece of pop music ever.
It was quite well received. I remember Kenny Everett raving about it on one of his shows.
And he said, "Here, listen to this." He said, "Look,
you might be able to hear the giants, but will you be able to tell which one you're listening to?"
To be honest, you're listening on your AM radio. You couldn't really tell much difference.
Which that was a bit of a compliment, we thought.
I'm sure the purists would. And oh, how dare he say that?
I've gained an affection for them, actually, and I've listened to them in a different light, and you begin to recognise the different voices. But ultimately, people think they're a bit rubbish.
Forget playing Kerplunk. The real challenge for a child of the 70s was to see just how much strange food you could eat.
The main thing, particularly if you come from a large family, is it's not so much Christmas dinner, is the farting afterwards. It's just the whole of Christmas afternoon is farting. And it can't be the Christmas dinner, because you can't have digested it that quickly. There must be something that happens to you, the tension maybe of kind of Christmas morning, all ends up in a kind of farting fest.
Most of the things you eat at Christmas bung you up. You know, you get very dehydrated with alcohol, you have all the nuts which have a high salt content. Most people don't eat the dates or the figs, they skimp on the sprouts. So you've got to have a little bit of homebrew with salt in, otherwise you get really badly constipated. And I have very strong memories of being dispatched to Boots at Christmas Eve to buy the constipation stuff and the hemorrhoid cream.
Inedible nuts. I hate nuts at the best of times, but then they weren't even good nuts, like luxury nuts, like a cashew nut. At least a cashew nut, I can see the pleasure in that. There's no pleasure in those ones that look like fossilised dinosaur droppings, that you would have to get like a great metal vice out or a monkey out.
And when we had the chocolate selection, there used to be a huge competition, really, like piranhas, to get the nutty ones. Everyone hated the marzipan, everyone hated the Turkish delight. And it was considered very poor form to dip into the second layer before you'd been on the top. But you ended up actually almost like a reflex. You had to identify the ones very quickly, almost like Braille. You identify them both. You know the difference between a nut crunch and a cherry cream. You know where the hazelnut whirl is.
Nobody wants orange cream. Why do they make them? When you meet someone who likes an orange cream or something with fruit and goo, I mean, what's that about? They should make fruit and goo in one and then just all nuts and sort of chewy toffee bit. You want something hard in your mouth, don't you, at Christmas?
Black magic, no, that would depress me. To me, chocolate is only milk. So Milk Tray was, of course, Milk Tray or Dairy Box were the winning chocolate combinations.
I remember the Milk Tray man because he always had a nice turtleneck jumper, didn't he? Always.
The Milk Tray ads were huge. Everyone loved them. It seemed, at that time, you know, things seemed hilarious. You watch the Milk Tray ad, you'd be like, oh, ha, 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 it's so great. And it was a James Bond spoof.
I think it was an early stab at satire in the commercial world, wasn't it? Because I don't think we were to take him too literally, were we? Because most people don't travel that way.
The Milk Tray Man was clearly a role model because I had a black polo neck sweater, so there must have been something that got into my subconscious. Yes, there was something just amazing about leaping out of the helicopter and deliver the box of chocolate.
I remember him well. Almost fancied this dark silhouette of a stranger.
And all because the lady loves Milk Tray.
Yeah, I can't remember. I couldn't tell you what he looked like for toffee at all. I don't know if we ever did see his face.
It changed my life. It was a good contract. London and America are the only place where you get paid royalties every time your head's on the box. So I was rolling in this stuff. Went to the biggest casting in London. I think every model in London was there. And I just happened to be what they were looking for. First ad was the train commercial, where the man in black drops from a bridge onto the top of a train, delivers the chockies into the girl's bedroom, and then leaps out the train.
Where does that woman live? That he has to go by powerboat and jet ski and then abseil to her house. Why can't he just send it? I mean, even in the 70s you had overnight delivery, didn't there? There was a postal system even in the 70s.
And they took out his calling card and he put it on the table beside it. And the calling card was just a white card with him just like that in black, just a silhouette.
Spies don't have cards. That would defeat the object of being a spy, wouldn't it? I'm a top secret agent, there's my card, with my phone number on and fax. Wow, that'll be difficult for the KGB to track you down then, won't it?
You'd think to yourself, well, if you're stupid enough to go through that just to give her a box of chocolates, well, come on, pull yourself together. It was silly.
I thought it was great. I loved all that stuff. I did the first half dozen stunts. I enjoy doing physical things, and they were paying me good money to do it. There was one I found myself on the top of a cliff in Malta. He said, you dive off the cliff here, we're going to get you in full flight. Lovely swallow dive, hit the water, come up, chased by shark, deliver the chockies, dive back in, fight the shark off. I said, yeah, right, Chair. I said, well, see that ledge down there about 15 feet out of the water, that's where I'll be diving from. They got the mad stuntman in. yeah, what do you want? Did the perfect dive and injured himself quite badly because it was like diving into a vat of cement for, I think it was about 140 feet up, something, I don't know. But there was no way I would even consider jumping off it, let alone doing a swallow dive.
And all because the lady loves Milk Tray.
Yeah, after he delivered his box of chocolates, then he buggered off so quickly. Where did he go? He could have stayed.
Or enigmatic. It was just, I come, I leave my chocolate, I go. And that's really all a woman needs. She doesn't want to wake up with the man who brought the chocolates, possibly. I don't know.
Actually, that is probably what most women want. Chocolates from a bloke they don't even have to look at.
Well, of course, Christmas is always a great time for films, and the 70s were no different. I mean, Christmas wouldn't have been Christmas, would it, if you hadn't been watching The Wizard of Oz, The Sound of Music, or Mary Poppins? Well, this next great classic movie was a smash hit in Christmas 1970, and it's a bit of a tearjerker.
Railway children.
What is it about? Is it about flooding?
Now that was Jenny Agutter, Sally Thompson, and injustice to the boy, but I can't remember his name.
Don't forget to watch the dicky bird. Watch the birdie.
Oh. It's a happy family. Mum, Dad, 3 children, living well.
Fabulous! Absolutely fabulous!
Dad is whisked away because he's suspected of being a spy.
Right, Gabby, Scotland Yard.
So they had to go and live in the middle of nowhere.
And Mum has to sort of make do and write stories and things to keep them all alive, and they make friends with the people in the village.
They start waving to a guy on the train. He waves back to them and says, "Oh, charming, absolutely charming."
Charming.
She sends a letter to him, and he must do a bit of jiggery-pokery.
And of course, eventually Dad is freed, and that's the 4 hanky scene.
And they all live happily ever after. That's the railway children. No more, no less.
The story wasn't quite that simple, and the railway children weren't quite what they seemed.
Where have you been? Where have I been? Down to the station, but don't ask me why. It's a secret.
They were all in their 20s, I later found out, when they made that.
Whoopee!
Sally Thompson, I'm not quite sure, but she certainly wasn't 12 years old.
Really?
At the time, I was 20 years old, and Phyllis, well, she's supposed to be the youngest of the children.
It's no secret that she wasn't a little girl.
Let's all just sit and think. No one's to speak until they've thought of something.
I think Sally did have to be strapped across her bazooms.
No, I didn't have to be, because you couldn't see anything. The cut of the clothes they just went straight out with all these petticoats underneath.
Don't worry, funny face. She's head nurse, but you can be matron.
Oh, thank you.
And Sally had to be stopped from having a quick drag now and again. Yeah, put that fag out.
I mean, she had her own fast little sports car, and she was a bit of a go, and she liked her gin and tonic. But of course, we had to keep that very quiet.
I said to Jenny, we could creep out and we could go to a nightclub. Because I said, it's driving me mad.
My God.
A couple of chaps came over to ask us to dance. And it seemed like an eighth of a second later, there was Lionel.
And like 2 grandpas, grabbed their hands and dragged them home. I hope they've forgiven me.
The reason it made an impression on me was because of the nubile Jenny Agata. What lay beneath the smock?
As a lad just approaching 10, Jenny Agata as a 17-year-old playing something maybe a bit younger, it was all right to fancy her, I think.
I thought that Jenny Agata was the most beautiful girl that had ever walked the earth, and I so wanted to be her, even in her foolish tam o' shanter.
Bobby's birthday, I'm often asked how we get it, that it looks as if she's floating. She sat on the camera stool, and I was underneath. Now, with the music, we moved with the music.
Thank you indeed.
And the tears that were pouring down the crew's eyes when we cut it.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely party, my dear.
Thank you for coming.
Pure sentimentality. And it's what everybody wants their birthday to be like, isn't it? Womb-like.
Wouldn't Daddy have loved this?
How can they expect us to believe this rubbish?
Hey, the 11:29 hasn't gone by yet. Must let them know at the station there'll be an accident. Flannel petticoats. Beg your pardon? Flannel petticoats. Of course, take them off.
The Railway Children is the only film in which Jenny Agata's not taking her clothes off.
They won't see us. It's all no fun.
And she gets her knickers off in that, because at the end she waves them to stop the train, so that's about it for the plot has gone, but that image is burned into my mind.
Stop! There's been an earthquake!
We're trying to make people happy and entertain them. Oh, cry. It was awful. Oh, God, I didn't enjoy it. Murder, isn't it? No, never cried over it. No. Usually crying over something else far more pressing and urgent that has happened during Christmas. Like my lack of gratitude for my dressing gown.
Thank you, madam. Yes. Thank you. Quicker you can, please.
I think most people get a bit weepy at the end when Jenny's on the station, on the platform, and Father comes through all the smoke.
It's all foggy and the lovely Father emerges.
It's like real lump in the throat stuff. Daddy, my daddy, you know, and she runs down the platform and you think, you know, God, you know, I'm going to cry here.
Daddy, my daddy!
It is a sort of feel-good family movie. It orders you to feel good.
It was just so sort of sweet and treacly. Just loved it. It was now.
And people kind of think, oh, you know, it's all a bit kind of prissy and all that, but, you know, I mean, God, you know, so what? You know, it's a great film, that. Love it. I can't think of a bad thing to say against the Railway Children.
No girl's Christmas was complete without a new doll. It had to be either a Barbie doll, a Pippa doll, or a Sindy doll.
The thing about Sindy, she could be anyone.
You just go into real fantasy with your doll and you dress her up. It's almost a lesbian relationship because I loved it so much.
Hold me close, don't let me go. Oh no.
Well, obviously one would dress them depending on what they decided to do that day.
Loads of dresses. She'd change her clothes about 6 times a day.
Be it play tennis or go skiing.
When she was going to a party, if I was getting dressed up, she'd get dressed up.
Riding, another option.
So hold me close, don't let me go.
Certainly during most of the 70s, Sindy would have been number 1 or number 2 as far as a little girl's choice for Christmas.
I don't remember getting the actual Sindy, but the newsagent sold a doll that was very similar to Sindy. She just had a harder life.
Sindy's new kitchen is so beautifully modern. It works so well, with drawers and doors that open and close. Sindy. She has everything a girl could ever want.
Hold me close, don't let me go. Oh no.
Well, there are over 20 people designing and developing Sindy products, deciding what Sindy should do, where she should go, what sort of girl she should be, how modern she should be, and had great fun.
I remember I went through a phase of quite badly wanting a Sindy. But my mother, because of her feminist principles, she refused to let me have any toys that were deemed to be for girls. I got an Action Man who came with a tent. I used to take the Action Man round to my friend Jane Atkinson's house and dress him up in Sindy dresses, which has really started a lifelong obsession.
Sindy was never allowed to leave the factory without a pair of knickers on. You know, it was a cardinal sin if a Sindy was ever found naked.
And you remember lifting up the skirt of a Sindy to seeing what sort of genital information you might gather underneath, and there was always this amorphous bit of moulding that didn't actually give you any sex education at all.
I used to practice them kissing.
You're asking me if I used to make Sindy shag. Yes, I did.
And they used to have, you know, little romantic scenarios, but they'd always end up naked and in the bath.
New baby alive, soft and sweet.
Well, Baby Alive, you would have a bowl with a cereal in or something like that, and you could feed it food.
She can drink, she can eat.
Feed it into its mouth, and it would pass through the mouth, down the body, and come out at the other end.
Oh! That's outrageous. Why would you want to give your child a doll that poos?
I wouldn't like to tell you what a mess it was sometimes.
I mean, I don't know if it's just something that's British, that we're just obsessed with toilet functions, but why would you want a doll that did a poo? Why?
The children loved it, the girls loved it. They thought it was absolutely wonderful.
I mean, that's really Christmas. A moulded piece of defecating plastic.
Don't you change the things you do.
Do you remember all the pets we had on Blue Peter? There were the dogs, Petra and my best friend Shep.
And there were the cats. There was Jason, the Siamese, and Jack and Jill. And, of course, the tortoise Fred, who turned out to be Frida, although I never actually discovered how they ever told the difference.
Nope. But believe it or not, they got more fan mail than we did, and they couldn't even talk.
I was a big fan of Basil Brush.
Well, I hated Basil Brush.
A fox in a cape. I mean, how could anyone think that was funny? That was the very essence of comedy in the 70s.
Christmas is coming, everybody's on the rocks. Please put a knicker in Bazzy's little box. If you haven't got a knicker, 50p will do. I'm Roy North. I'm Basil Brush. Good evening, how do you do?
Yeah, mad, irritating.
Oh, I say, what a touchy woman.
It's a sort of Terry Thomas in the kind of dog world.
I'm not a blooming dog.
No, he was a wolf. What was he, a fox? Yes, a fox.
Ooh, there's a clever girl.
And he used to have this stupid laugh. Something like that.
Basil Brush, really, I think was, dare I say, the Tony Blackburn of the puppet world, really.
Yes, he's helping me to study for my Pawseycraft badge.
You mean handicraft badge?
No, Pawseycraft. You have handies, I have pawsies.
They were like the jokes you got out of Christmas crackers, weren't you?
Oh, this is going to shake Mr. Roy when he sees me in this lot. He doesn't know I've got this Father Christmas job. It's a funny sort of job. You know, it's the only job I know where they give you the sack before you start.
I'd like to have spent time with Basil Brush because I think he'd have been a laugh.
You know, not like this when we're playing hospitals together. And I'm going to be the doctor next time.
There was always the odd innuendo. Some of the dads used to say it. I noticed that one.
What did you do to make that lady scream out?
Well, it was in my face, so I bit it.
I think that was one of those things I was forced to watch. And say, you will enjoy Basil Brush on a Saturday night. This is part of our Saturday night.
That's what gave it a wider appeal than a lot of children's programme, because it did have that slight edge to it.
God, I didn't know you couldn't sing.
I'll take you far beyond imagination. Oh, the dream come true. I have a vacation.
Demis Roussos. He made his first appearance on British television on the Basil Brush show. Demis Roussos, this big bearded guy in a tent. we howled when we saw him.
They serve the wine and food.
I can feel it on my lips. That was soccer and chips.
So the same thing happened every week, didn't it? In fact, did anything happen except that story?
Time once again for another thrilling episode of Bulldog Basil, Secret Service Man.
It was always Roy North, had a massive book.
Basil, what happened?
I haven't the faintest idea. Have you a ticket?
He just interrupted all the time.
No, I never interrupt.
And he would read the story and Basil would affect not to understand it.
Don't interrupt.
And then he'd go, come on, and try and get him to hurry up.
Come on.
When in fact he was the reason that he was reading it so slowly in the first place. So that's a bit off that of Basil, wasn't it?
Basil, I'm warning you. You hit me once more.
You wouldn't, would you?
You just try it.
I was interviewing him once on the radio, and the person that had Basil Brush, he insisted on actually having the puppet in there, even on a radio interview.
This is your rocking DJ, Basil Bluebell Brush, welcoming you to the breakfast show.
I asked him a question, and he went, boom, boom, and Basil Brush lunged onto my hand like that, and actually took a nick out of my finger.
Now, that's not very nice.
I'm sorry.
And the finger went septic.
You look very well, considering.
People in the 30s now that really remember Basil because they watched it when they were kids, and I suppose a lot of people that I talk to would like to not inflict it on the kids but show it off to the kids. We thought this was wonderful. Whether the kids would like it today or not, whether it's high-tech enough, I don't know.
And I think Basil Brush, has done more for foxes in this country than any individual puppet.
All around the world they're celebrating Christmas time. May you enjoy it in 100 different ways. On the happiest of happy Christmas days.
What a load of old codswallop!
Val, you were always a fashionable, sophisticated gal around town.
Is that how you remembered me?
Yeah, but what sort of a perfume did you wear in the 70s?
I think it might have been something called Mitsuko.
Oh, well, being a little lad for Halifax, I didn't go in for all that smelly sort of stuff. Now, Pete, say cologne hither and thither, a dab of?
Well, the ladies did like denim, John.
That's where I went wrong.
One of the ways. Man or boy, one of the certainties of Christmas is a bottle of cheap aftershave.
Those are the days when they just went, it's called high karate, so he'll do some high karating. We won't have it low karate, it'll be high karating.
This is high karate.
I can remember the high karate commercial with Valerie Leon chasing some poor chap around.
The advertising for the high karate commercials was amazingly successful. It really was. It was only done every Christmas for about 6 years. I became known as the high karate girl.
A sense of irresistible with every pack of high karate. And this unsuspecting girl is about to catch its irresistible scent.
What is the point of wearing aftershave unless you get a big-breasted woman? There is no point.
Because the lady with that big booby doobies. Yes, it's funny how that sticks in your mind, isn't it? I remember my brother and my father sitting there with the tongue sort of hanging out, because she was huge, wasn't she?
The agent who had a funny way of turning the phrase, you say, oh, lots of lovely pennies in this for you, darling. Go down there and just give them your karate. That'll be all you need to do. And put your flat shoes on. She must have been 6'2" in their shoes. And I'm 5'4", you know. So she was like towering above. And she always sort of caught me with her cleavage, and that was the end of it.
Every pack of high karate carries essential instructions.
A lot of my male friends thought I was the luckiest guy in Christendom. Nobody gave a damn what it smelled like. It was the connection back to the commercial that made it so successful.
Be careful how you use it.
It was quite a sexy ad because he had this big, nice chest.
You just saw his chin and his chest.
And it had this deep, weird music.
I do remember the hand going into the chest. Obviously, the audition for chests quite hard there.
All I had to do for the very first one was sit in a chair.
And this woman's hand was going down this bloke's chest, wasn't it?
And while this is happening, the very famous music was going.
The more he puts on, the cooler he gets.
And just before the woman's hand reached down there, the man's hand came.
But obviously, I couldn't let it go all the way.
Denim. For men who don't have to try too hard.
For men who don't have to try too hard.
That's every young male's dream, I suppose, not having to try.
They don't try anyway, so it only just gives them license to be worse.
If he was wearing that stuff, he wouldn't have to try at all, because if you smelt him within sort of 15 feet, you wouldn't have been going near him.
Women got the hard sell at Christmas too, only it was rather more sophisticated. Well, sort of.
She's wearing Tramp, a fragrance created for her by Lentheric.
Whoever thought that it would be suitable to call a perfume Tramp?
Tramp.
Tramp, I always thought was a bit of a rum idea, that you'd say to your auntie, I bought you some Tramp, auntie.
Tramp. Free and friendly, bold and exciting.
The associated aromas in my mind of tramps are not something you'd want to wear, do you know what I mean? You wouldn't say, oh, this is great, the fragrance will evoke someone who slept in stained clothing in a skip.
She's wearing Tramp and everybody loves her.
They were just revolting. They were so floral and just sharp, and but also sickly, and they were just terrible.
Shouldn't you wear it too?
But a lot of Lentheric was around Christmas. A lot of Lentheric stuff.
Lentheric, I think, was a made-up name.
Lentheric.
I think the name was chosen to purport to be French in origin. It wasn't really, but who cares?
Oh, Just Musk. Yes, it was supposed to send men wild, wasn't it?
Now, Just Musk, I think that was Pat Coombs, wasn't it?
It was awful. He was blind to her charms, impervious to her womanly wiles.
I was supposed to be a photographer's assistant, and who was madly in love with my boss.
And she really fancies me, but I just don't want to know, and I don't even notice her, and all that sort of thing.
And I finally felt so unhappy that I tried the perfume.
Then she discovered Just Musk, the perfume with the provocative aroma, which has stimulated man's desires since time immemorial.
And suddenly, no, you know, and so I notice her, and we get it together.
Stupid story, really, but...
Just Musk by Lentheric.
The Just Musk scent itself was absolutely not a breakthrough, absolutely middle of the road.
Pooh, awful.
It didn't have any musk in it, for a start.
I'm not being conceited, far from it, but they selected me, I suppose, because I was a sort of 24, 25-year-old tasty young thing.
He did look a little bit like Omar Sharif because of the moustache and the dark hair.
You know, hard to believe now.
And obviously I was supposed to be madly attracted to him.
Just Musk by Lentheric.
Shouldn't be allowed.
In the rarefied atmosphere of London's Tate Gallery are some of the great artworks of the 20th century.
Yes, there are works by Picasso, Dali, Warhol, Britain's Henry Moore, my favourite, David Hockney.
But strangely enough, there are none of these. Millions were sold, and no 70s home was complete without them.
So, what better present for your mum?
Do you like art?
Yes.
The people, the masses need art, but we won't give them anything too complicated, but just give them, you know, Oriental women crying or children in Tramp shoes. I don't know why. I just feel it's going to work.
This was the first time that pictures were sold on the high street, so you could walk into Boots and they'd have them all up the stairs and they'd be there at like £1 or £2. Now Tina was on the right-hand side of the mantelpiece in my nan's house, and she kind of looked down on me and kind of said, come on puberty, come on faster. She got me hot where you need to get hot, regularly.
The Crying Boy, my auntie had that, and when I first saw it when I was about 8, it looked just like my cousin Michael. So they told me, yeah, it is, that's who it's supposed to be. So ever afterwards I go to people's houses and go, oh, you've got that picture of our Michael. To which, of course, they'd reply, well, it's getting late now, Stuart, isn't it? I think it's probably time you went home for your tea, thinking, don't ask him round again, because he's mental.
You had these spectacularly bad pictures, representational art at its worst.
Let us examine this painting.
Isn't that a restful, nice picture? Was her eyes, they seem to follow you, you know. No matter what part of the room, I think she's looking at you.
Because that was the one that set the scene, that's the one that everybody remembers, and it's the one that's sold in the second biggest numbers.
How can we make sense of this confusion of values?
She was green, wasn't she, the girl? Why was she green? She'd probably been sick. Don't know why she was green. It was a lovely painting there.
She looked vaguely kind of Polynesian or something, but thinking about it, why would she be green?
Bit like the lady of Star Trek. Do you remember her in the opening credits?
No racial type has the green pigmentation, do they? Except Martians, presumably.
These prints sold in mass numbers.
I've got this fabulous picture, right? It's really beautiful.
One of the most famous ones was the one in the background during Abigail's party, Wings of Love.
Do you want to see it, Anne? Yes.
The big white swan with the naked Adam and Eve on either side.
That is cheap pornographic trash.
I'm not suggesting for one moment that it's a dirty picture, but there's a naked man standing and his gentleman's knickknacks are clearly visible.
You know, lots of people look at it from an ironic point of view now, but it did sell 3 million.
If I had my way, it would be in the dustbin.
You can't put that down because that's like saying that 3 million people, including my mum and my nan, have no taste, and they do.
You know, thinking back to those cold Christmas nights of the 70s, there was nothing quite like the experience of wearing all those nylon dressing gowns and nighties.
It didn't feel nice, but you didn't care because it looked quite nice. Thinking about it, it's the sort of thing that old people wear now in old people's homes, very high-necked and covered buttons.
But I remember it sort of gripping you. You know, you sort of suddenly go like that and your nylon nightie would be all on you.
A constant sentence in our house was get away from the fire.
We were constantly told to keep away from the fire.
90% of what we had as clothing at that point would have just...
Good evening. Oh, you shouldn't have. Just want to show everyone your dressing gown, only $6.99 from Brentford Nylons.
I remember exactly when I got the phone call saying, would I do it? Well, I was in a vat of black pudding mix.
Beautiful, and only $6.49 at Brentford's. Thank you, Dee. And this is $5.49.
Like all these ads, they always had the dolly birds in them. I mean, it's pathetic, really.
Say hello, $5.49.
Hello.
In those days, of course, nylon was the in thing.
Come to Brentford Nylons. Prices will be down this month.
Nylon really kind of hit the market in the early 70s, and people just went, this is fantastic. Get it out of the washing machine, and it's dry.
Luxurious nylon sheets, £1.50 a pair.
And of course, you sweated like a pig the moment you were sleeping in a Brentford nylon sheeted bed. I mean, it was just hell on earth.
Very unattractive, very unsavoury.
Lovely bedspreads, just £1.99.
And I remember bouncing on top of that and our hair always going up.
This crackling. And if you're in the dark, you would sort of like lift your sheets up, and it's sort of blue, like the northern lights would appear.
Sorry, moustache, but we're due to be doing pyjamas at the vicarage.
I'd have gone on doing Brentford Nylons. I am a whore.
Brentford Nylons, real Christmas value.
Now we come to a really important moment because it's our competition. We'd like you to name the most popular television double act on television every Christmas.
The two Ronnies!
No, listen, I'll give you a clue. They used to have really famous people on their show that they'd make fun of. People like Des O'Connor and Angela Rippon and Andre Previn.
Georgia Mildred!
No, look, shut up, you two. Will you listen? I'll give you a clue. One wore glasses and one didn't.
Little and large! Hey!
No, listen. They used to have a very funny dance that they would do at the end of their act.
Oh, get off!
Oh, good grief. Listen, there's 2 Blue Peter badges for the winners. Oh, honestly.
I loved Morecambe Wise. I adored it. I used to love the Christmas specials.
This was in the days when people crowded around a television. 40 million people or something were watching the Morecambe Wise Christmas special.
It was just one of those things. It's Christmas Day and Morecambe Wise are on. Everything's all right. The world's okay.
Bring me sunshine. It was quite late on Christmas Day, by which time you'd eaten 4 times your own body weight. No matter what age you were, you'd had a load of alcohol, even if you were 4. Round our house, by that time on a Christmas evening, it was like train spotting. Everyone was sort of nodding out in front of the telly, but on some, except on QC and cheese footballs.
Me and my dad would sit down and watch it. My mother would never watch Morecambe Wise, but that was mostly because she hasn't got a sense of humour. She'd be off reading some book by Germaine Greer or just flicking through Joy of Sex, whereas me and my dad would be perfectly happy watching Morecambe Wise.
We always timed the meal so that we finished in time to sit down with a coffee or a drink in front of a television.
Dear Eddie Cunt.
And he liked having us all there watching. Captive audience we were.
If you know Susie like I know Susie.
You weren't allowed to move once it started. You know, if you wanted to go to the loo, do it now. Otherwise, you know, you're in trouble. And you weren't allowed to talk throughout the show. And we didn't say don't talk, but you just knew that it wasn't a good idea. And what really sticks in my mind more than anything, and I'm sure it's the same with all my family, is that he used to fall about laughing. And he loved laughing at himself. He just thought it was so funny.
Right, keep going, son.
He would sit and laugh hysterically. And he'd laugh when he knew, you know, an ad-lib or something that was coming up, and you might get nudged, and this is an ad-lib, this is an ad-lib. And he would really laugh out loud at himself, and Ernie, and the guests.
Coming across the farmyard was the farmer's wife.
Farmer's wife.
And she said...
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Your best yet!
It was me!
It was me!
It was me!
It was you!
There's a drunk just come on from the...
In the middle of a summer holiday, Eric would be sitting there thinking of, I know who we could have for the Christmas show, and I know what we could do.
Excuse me, miss. Or madam, as the case may be. I'm afraid you can't stop here. Only professional artists are allowed up here, in front of the cameras. Go back to your seat. This isn't a generation game, please.
There were several guest stars, but I think that the moment, as it were, would have been when Glenda Jackson came on the Morecambe Wise Christmas show. She was a big star, and the star was rising. And to get her on, and that really got the ball rolling, then everyone else thought, well, if she can be such a good sport, why can't we do it?
I had never ever thought of working with Morecambe Wise. I think at that stage of my career, what I'd been known for had tended to be deep, dark Stygian drama and gloom.
All men are fools, and what makes them so is having beauty like what I have got.
When I was asked if I would do one of their shows, I just said yes instantaneously. They were quite nervous that I might be offended by the script, because, of course, the basis of the whole joke was that they didn't know who I was, and even when they did know who I was clearly totally incompetent.
Dame Glenda?
Dame Glenda? I'm sorry, Eric, it's just plain Glenda.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. I ached with laughter going through this script. I just thought it was wonderful. And then to actually work with them, as I've always said, I regard it as the apotheosis of my career, really.
Keep the lady entertained. I'll go get that.
All right, all right.
What's nice about it all is that for the hour that it was on, there was nothing more important, but either side of it at Christmas, nothing was more important than Christmas itself. That, you know, you never lost sight of that.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while.
You said we were finishing on that.
He loved the Christmas meal, and he'd light up his cigar, and I can always remember, you know, the family would gradually drift away, and there'd be this voice, Gail? Where are you going? Come back. You'd have to go back and sit there, and he'd just want to talk and be mellow. And I wish now that I'm older that, you know, I had had him for longer, because now I'd go and sit with him for hours, I'll tell you what.
Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love.
We leave you with the sound of the number one sound, Slade.
Well, it's Slade. Merry
Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.
If there's one 70s song that's as Christmas as a carol, then it's this one.
Are you hanging up, stocking on your wall?
What a lot of people don't realise about our Christmas record is there's actually nothing Christmassy on it except the lyrics. There's no sleigh bells on it. There's no children's choirs on it.
was in a medical review and 4 student nurses rewrote the chorus to "So here it is, geriatrics, everybody's had a stroke. Let's get the turkey out and see how many choke." And I can't remember the original Noddy Holder lyrics now.
Probably one of the best lines I've ever written was the one, does your granny always tell you that the old songs are the best? Then she's up and rock and rolling with the rest. And I wanted to make it a very British working class song, lyrically. I mean, you got to remember when Merry Christmas came out, 1973, there was a lot of strikes going on. The miners were on strike, the power workers were on strike, TV was going off at 10 o'clock at night. It was a very dim and dismal time for people. And I wanted to make the Christmas song very optimistic. We released that record 2 weeks before Christmas, and it had already sold 500,000 records. We already had a silver disc for it.
In fact, I was talking to Noddy Old, and he reckons that, you know, he gets a nice PRS check every April. Thanks to Pete, all the radio stations and TV stations playing Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun.
That's the only part that probably does get to me a bit. If I'm going out doing my Christmas shopping and every store you walk into, it's on there, and people are pointing saying, "That's him, he's the one who did that record." It's obviously the song that Slade will always be remembered for. It'll go on and on and on. And it's a nice little pension as well.
Oh, goodness gracious, what can we say? So, there you are. Christmas really was better in the 70s.
Oh, yes. And by the way, just one thing before we go. Thanks very much for all the forks, the spoons, the old rags. You can stop sending them in now.
We haven't got room for them anymore. So, for now, it's goodbye and have a very
happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Take it. I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Relive some of your favourite fads of the 70s on New Year's Eve, the highest highs and the lowest lows. I Love the 70s, showing again here on BBC 2 at 8. Kicking off next tonight, our Clint Eastwood special.
There